It is Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. And I have a question to start us off. Do you remember that wow moment when you first used ChatGPT back in, say, late 2023?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was one of those moments where you could just feel the ground shifting.
It felt like the world changed overnight.
It really did.
Well, if you've been paying attention just in the last few weeks, you might be getting that feeling all over again. But this time, the magic isn't about a bot chatting with you. It's about the bot pretty much ignoring you and just getting to work.
That is the perfect way to frame it.
We're diving into this massive stack of reports today, fresh for 2026. We've got stuff from Master of Code, BCG, Jellyfish, KPMG, you name it. And they're all pointing to one single, very loud conclusion. The era of generative AI, the chatty kind, is over.
And we have entered the era of agentic AI.
A huge distinction.
It is. For the last couple of years, we've been in that generative phase. You know, passive tools, you ask, they answer. What we're seeing now, going mainstream in 2026, is agency, software that actually makes decisions.
Agentic AI. It's the buzzword of the month. But honestly, when I hear agent, I'm thinking James Bond or something.
Yeah.
We need to, strip the marketing fluff off this right now.
Yeah, let's get real.
Our mission today is simple. We're going to explain what these things actually are, why businesses are suddenly betting a farm on them, and what it means for your job when your new colleague is, well, a piece of code.
And the stakes are high. I mean, the headline from the Master of Code report is literally the year of the agent. This isn't some experiment anymore. This is deployment at scale.
Okay, so let's start at ground zero. We have to define this. Because agent is getting thrown around to mean, what? A slightly smarter chatbot? How is this different from the ChatGPT we were using 2 years ago?
The simplest mental model I've found is the difference between a consultant and an employee.
Okay, I like that. Break it down for me.
So generative AI, your classic ChatGPT was like a really smart consultant. You bring it a problem, say, write me a marketing plan.
And it produces this beautiful document.
A beautiful document. Then it hands it to you and does a chef.
Right. The consultant doesn't execute. I still have to take that plan, open my email, write the copy, book the meetings. The consultant hardly left the building.
Precisely. The output was just text. You had to bridge that massive gap between text and action.
So how is agentic AI different?
It's like a proactive employee. You give it a goal, launch this campaign, and it doesn't just write the plan. It logs into the ad platform, it uploads the assets, it sets the budget, it hits publish.
Oh, okay.
And then, and this is the kicker, it watches the results.
It watches the results.
Yes. If the click-through rate is low, the agent can notice, it can, tweak the headline and then republish, all without you touching a thing.
Okay, that is a fundamental shift. You're describing a loop. It's not just input-output. It's continuous.
Exactly. In the technical world, they call it the PRA loop.
PRA. Acronym alert. Let's decode that. What's the mechanics here?
Perception, reasoning, action. That's the engine. First, perception. The agent perceives its environment. It reads the database. It sees the incoming email. It checks the server status.
So it's not just waiting for me to type something. It's aware.
Right. Second is reasoning. It thinks, okay, server's down, 50 angry customer emails. What's the plan? Restart the server first, then draft an apology. It's sequencing.
It's made a judgment call.
And finally, action. It actually executes the code. It sends the email. Then the loop restarts. It perceives the result of its own action. Did the server come back up?
That's that do-it-for-me economy I saw mentioned. We've moved from chat with me to do it for me.
That's it. And the adoption data we're seeing from Jellyfish is, well, it's just staggering. They track software engineering teams.
The canaries in the coal mine.
Exactly. In December 2024, about 50% of teams were using some kind of AI tool.
Okay.
By May 2025, just 5 months later, that number jumped to 82%.
That is a massive spike.
It is, and get this. Gartner is predicting that by 2028, a third of all enterprise software, HR, finance, everything will have these agentic capabilities. Compare that to less than 1% in 2024.
So we're going from almost zero to 1/3 of everything in 4 years. That feels like whiplash. Why the huge rush? Is it just FOMO?
It is whiplash. But there's a reason for the speed. And that brings us to what the Navient report calls the Great AI Reality Check.
The Great AI Reality Check. That sounds ominous. Is the bubble bursting?
Not bursting, but maturing. Think about 2023 and 2024. Those were the fun years, right? Companies threw money at AI just to say they had a bot.
A novelty factor.
Total novelty. But now, in 2026, the CFOs have entered the room, and they are never looking for fun.
They're saying, show me the money.
Exactly. The experimental phase is over. If you can't prove ROI, return on investment, you don't get the budget. And agents are taking off because they actually save money.
They pay for themselves.
Master Code Reports companies are seeing revenue bumps between 3 and 15%. But the real story, I think, is about efficiency.
This is where that 30% rule comes in, right?
Yeah.
From the BDO report, I found this really helpful.
It's a great framework. The 30% rule suggests that in almost any job lawyer, doctor, marketer, about 70% of the tasks are routine. They follow a pattern.
The grunt work, the paperwork, the scheduling, the stuff that makes you hate your job sometimes.
Exactly. That's perfect for agents, the remaining 30%. That's the human stuff. Judgment, empathy, complex strategy.
So the pitch isn't fire the human, it's strip away the 70% of drudgery.
That's the ideal, yes. And if you look at the BCG data on healthcare, the numbers are just astronomical. They estimate that in healthcare admin, agents could reduce overhead by 50%.
50%.
50. That frees up an estimated $250 billion industry-wide.
$250 billion. That is not small change. That's enough to completely reshape an industry.
And it connects right back to the do-it-for-me idea.
Yeah.
Let the agent handle the paperwork so the doctor can spend more time with the patient.
Okay, let's get concrete. You mentioned healthcare. Give me a specific example of an agent in the wild right now.
The most striking one from that BCG report is prior authorizations.
I know this pain. Your doctor says you need something, and then you just wait for the insurance company to say yes.
And traditionally, that wait is about 7 days. 7 days of anxiety. It's all manual. Humans, faxes.
Faxes in 2026.
Sadly, yes. But now, autonomous agents are doing this. They work 24/7. They can read the patient record, read the policy, check the criteria, and make a decision almost instantly. That 7-day timeline, it's being shortened to 7 hours.
From 7 days to 7 hours. For a patient, that's not just efficiency, that's life-changing.
It is, and it's not just back office stuff. We're seeing co-pilot agents that listen in on doctor-patient conversations and draft the clinical notes in real time.
So the doctor can actually look at me instead of typing into a computer screen.
Exactly. Documentation time drops 15 to 20%. The tech is actually making the experience more human.
By taking the robot work away from the human.
That's the promise.
Okay, what about outside of healthcare? You mentioned engineering as the canary in the coal mine. What are they seeing?
So in software engineering, we're not just talking about a tool that suggests a line of code anymore. They're calling them digital laborers.
Digital laborers. Sounds a little dystopian, I have to say.
The name is a bit much, but it describes the capability. Jellyfish says these agents are authoring commits. They write the code, they save it, they submit it to the project, they even review other people's code.
They're doing the job.
GitHub Copilot users report they complete their tasks 55.8% faster.
Over 50% faster. That's like adding half a week to your week.
Basically. But here's the shift. It changes the human's role. You stop being a writer of code and you start being a reviewer of code. You're the manager.
That reminds me of the customer service example I saw for Agentforce. It really clicked for me.
The where is my order scenario.
Yes.
Yeah.
With a chatbot, I ask, where's my order? It says, it's delayed.
Which is useless. I already know that.
Exactly. But an Agentforce agent, it sees the delay. It checks my history, sees I'm a good customer, and it independently reschedules the delivery for tomorrow. Then it updates the system, emails me the new time, and issues a credit to my account.
It solved the problem. Action over information. That's the core shift.
And this is creating a really interesting psychological shift. The SHRM reports kept using this one word, teammate. They're not calling AI a tool anymore. They're calling it a colleague.
It's a necessary change in mindset. I mean, a hammer is a tool. It sits there until you pick it up. An agent that sends emails while you're asleep, that feels a lot more like a colleague.
And companies are organizing them like teams, right? This multi-agent systems concept.
Yes. This is where it gets really sci-fi. Imagine you have a digital marketing agency. You don't just have one super AI. You have a crew.
A crew.
Yeah, you have one agent whose only job is research. It scours the web. It passes its findings to a second agent, the writer. The writer passes the draft to a third agent for, say, legal compliance. They coordinate. They hand off tasks.
So you, the human, you become the project manager of this digital department. You're not doing the work. You're orchestrating the crew.
Exactly. And this is changing who gets hired. KPMG found that 64% of organizations have already altered their entry-level hiring because of agents.
That is a terrifying stat if you're graduating college. If agents are doing the 70% of grunt work, what happens to the entry-level people who used to learn by doing that work?
That is the multi-billion-dollar question. We're seeing a skill premium emerge. Leaders will pay 10% more for candidates who have AI skills. But AI skills doesn't mean coding. It means knowing how to manage an agent.
So it's management skills, right, from day one.
And it creates a huge productivity gap.
Got
The
it.
workers who can manage agents are becoming 30 to 50% more productive than those who can't. So it's not that robots replace humans.
It's that humans with agents replace humans without agents.
It's a cliche, but the data is proving it's true. The bar for entry-level value has just been raised.
Okay, we have to talk about the other side of this. Because whenever we talk about software that can act and spend money, my anxiety goes up just a little bit.
As it should.
What happens when an agent goes rogue? If it has the action part of the loop, can it do real damage?
You're right to be cautious. The risks are very different. If a chatbot hallucinates, you get a wheeled sentence. If an agent hallucinates, it might, I don't know, transfer funds, delete a database, order 10,000 of the wrong thing.
The mistake is tangible
Yeah.
and expensive.
And the Kindle report talked a lot about jailbreaking.
Jailbreaking, like escaping prison.
In a way, yeah. It's when a user tricks the AI into ignoring its safety rules. With an agent, a jailbreak could trick it into executing a command it absolutely shouldn't.
Because the agent has the keys to the car.
It has the keys to the whole system.
Wow.
And because these agents act so fast in milliseconds, detecting when they're being manipulated is much, much harder.
So is there legal fallout coming?
Oh, for sure. Gartner predicts that by the end of this year, 2026, we'll see significant lawsuits. They call them death by AI lawsuits.
Death by AI.
They mean business death, liability. Lawsuits so big they could crush a company, all because of an agent without proper guardrails.
Are companies ready for this?
Not even close. The Lizard report was stark. While 99% of apps are rushing to add agents, 62% of businesses have no clear governance framework.
That's a terrifying gap. 99% adoption, 62% no rules. It's like giving teenagers Ferraris and not having speed limits.
It is the classic tech story.
Yeah.
Innovation is outpacing regulation. Governance is the make or break factor for 2026.
Okay, so let's bring this all together. It's January 2026. Agentic AI adoption is exploding 82% in engineering. The focus is shifting to pure ROI, that 30% rule. And we're moving from just chat to real action.
That's the summary. It's a fundamental change in the operating system of business.
We've covered the what, the why, the how, and the risks. But before we go, I want to leave our listeners with something to really chew on. What's the one thing they should be thinking about today?
I want you to go back to that concept of the colleague. We're entering a world where you might be managing a team and half the members are silicon-based. So at what point do we stop managing the work and start managing the agent?
It just completely changes the definition of leadership.
It does. And the really provocative question is this. Are you ready to be a manager to a machine that works 24/7, never sleeps, and operates faster than you ever could?
That's a wild thought, managing a direct report that's smarter and faster than you are.
It's the new leadership challenge.
Well, on that note, we will leave you to ponder your new digital coworkers. Thanks for tuning in to The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.